What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscriber die trying. You see the thumbnail. Black men cannot be fragile. Um, it's a double, you know, it's a double-edged sword because people want men to be vulnerable and brothers to be vulnerable. But if we become vulnerable, it's viewed as weak. So you want black men to cry, right? That's looked at as fragile for a man to cry. It has to be something really life-changing and life-altering that causes you to cry. Loss, loss of life, loss of something, limb or something like that, that causes you to cry. Because if you just crying, you know, you're going to be looked at as weak, even by people. And the odd thing is about even by the people who love you, even if life did something to you and you had a breakdown, people don't want to say that, for some brothers, you can't, if you have a breakdown, you have to have a breakdown in your car, you know, with the music on by yourself. Hopefully the windows tinted, maybe in a parking lot somewhere, or maybe in a bathroom somewhere. You gotta, you can't, won't you talk to somebody? I feel you. You might need to get therapy, but sometimes, what if you can't afford it, or what if they can't relate? And the fear of talking and expressing yourself, especially to a person that you're paying that can't relate, you're going to like, I feel weak, right? And people might make you feel weak. It's kind of like the thing about race in the medical field, where we can tolerate more pain, and people look at, when we say there's something wrong with me, they go, oh, that's okay, you're just fine. No, it's blood squirting out of my chest. Oh, well, you people, you got it. And it's like, oh, okay. So black men can't be fragile because even if something's wrong, it seems like people take joy in our pain, or people ignore our pain purposely for whatever their twisted little purposes are, right? So it's difficult. And then, I was looking at a clip of Prime, aka Deion Sanders, and on I Am Athlete, and they asked him about if he ever had a moment. He said he was suicidal. He was like, when he was playing the two sports, and he's playing the two sports, and he had his own commercials. He was known everywhere, and what wound up happening, I'm guessing divorce and child custody or child support or whatever. His kids got taken away, and at that point, he was like, that was the only people I knew loved me. They took away who loved me, not the people who love what I did, but the people who loved me. So he wanted to take himself out, and I think he said Cincinnati, Ohio. And this is part of the reason why this came up to be because a person that is seen so strong can't have a break. That shouldn't be able to break them. And also, I thought about, Tyrese, ironically, how when he was in a similar situation, he was crying on camera about his daughter, right? He was fragile. You can't do that. He got made fun of for that. I'm not gonna say he doesn't do things that make you shake your head, because he does. But even under that circumstance, looking back on it, it's like, as a black man, you can't even be hurt that somebody could take your child away from you. So you got to deal with that. That's just part of life. That's just how it's supposed to go. And you soft if you can't handle that, because everybody goes through it. You just suck it up. Suck it up. Get back to work. Drink a little alcohol to numb your pain and keep it pushing. But you can't be fragile. Oh boy. Take it a step further. I was looking at what's that, bankroll, Big Bank. It said Big Bank Hank, I think think that's his name, in Atlanta. He was on a radio station talking, and he said, in a sense, you got to be strong, because what happens if you're the provider for your family or your friends, your crew, everybody around you, and it's a lot of pressure because you provide for people who don't like you, you know, and they're holding you up to a standard of provision, and you got to hold them down when they really could care less what happens to you, as long as you bring, as long as you bring them food, you put food on the table, you're just a tool to use. And it's like, that's, it's stressful, it's frustrating. So, and that happens on a small level, and that happens on a large level with a lot of brothers, where you can't be fragile to say, look, man, the reason I'm stressed out and I just want to walk away and move on and get through this is because I'm out here, putting myself on the line for people who just want me to die on the hill for them to live rent free, and they could care nothing about my life. And you being stressed out about that is soft or weak somehow. That's why you see certain guys having these vices, because they need an outlet. They need an outlet for these vices, because their outlet is in the vices, because the pressure of not being able to be, fragile and not just fragile, but open with people, or people be open with you. That's how, the pillow talk comes up at play, because you just need somebody to talk to. So it puts guys in a bad predicament, puts people in a bad predicament. So that's all I'm gonna say. Like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.